Netherlands beat Sweden 5-1 in Houston. The only change to the side that drew 2-2 with Japan was Brian Brobby coming in for Somerville, and he scored a quick-fire brace in 20 minutes. We saw Cody Gakpo getting 2 goals in this game as well, and Somerville himself making it 5. I want to start with Brian Brobby coming in and the difference that he made today in this game, Robbo.
Well, think of the first goal. It wasn't just the finish. It was when the ball was played up to him, he held it up, he linked up the play. The ball went wide, he made his run into the box, he held off the challenge, and he was in the right place at the right time. The second one, again, the timing of his run, the strength of his run when the ball gets played in, he got across the defender, and it's a good finish. And by that stage, you think that the Dutch had already won it. But, yeah, he put in a good performance, he led the line, he made runs in behind. It was everything you would want from a centre-forward.
Everything you'd want to see from Cody Gakpo as well.
Of course, yeah, of course. This is just how they drew it up. I think, given the fact that they drew that first game, I was unsure about this one because Sweden had scored so many goals in the previous game, 5-1, I think it was. But I thought the Netherlands, they were really, really good. And to jump on that Brian Brobby point, so I'd obviously seen his physicality before. It was like a big deal for Sunderland. It'd been a big deal when he was in the Netherlands and so on. But that goal there, it was the touch, it was the speed, it was the strength, and it was the finish. And it's like a reminder, like, these guys are very, very good. And I think when it comes down to it, obviously Gakpo did really well as well for his goals. And Somerville coming on and, slam one into the corner. That's as good a day as you could imagine for the Netherlands.
And it also shows you that, we talk about crosses into the box. They don't always have to be in the air. I think 3 or 4 of the goals were balls whipped in between the goalkeeper and the centre halves for front players coming in, players at the far post, just to tap them in. The crossing, the movement in the wide areas, that's where they dominated. In the wide areas, the crossing was good. The overlapping runs of Dumfries down one side, the brilliance of Gakpo down the other. They didn't have it all their own way, mind you. Sweden had a lot of shots, but overall they were by far the better team.
Obviously, it was a tougher game for them in the first match that they played against Japan. It was a draw, what they managed to come out with. We've seen them at this level now against Sweden. Are they contenders this year? They
could be contenders, but in this game, even when they were 2-0 up and 3-0 up, Sweden, as you just saw from the stats, they had more shots than the Netherlands. And they looked quite easy to get between the lines. Eventually took off De Jong. De Jong was excellent on the ball, but he had problems defensively. And it was a little bit too easy for Sweden to break through them. They had some decent chances. But the game looked very spread, which was great for the Netherlands when they were counter-attacking and going forward, but it was too spread when they were also defending. So I think they have to improve on that. But they look a good side. If they get everything right, they get De Jong playing at his very best, we get those wide players playing at their best, Brobby continues to hold up the play and link up the play, they're a team that can certainly get to the quarterfinals, semi-finals.
Yeah, in fairness, I can see that because they are set up to be very dynamic in terms of how they attack. They will obviously get on the ball. My only concern is that there were elements in terms of how they played that first game, which will probably come back to sort of bite them on the backside further down the tournament. I think they did retreat and be very, very negative against Japan in the first match when I thought they could have carried on and gone and just dominated and won the game, kind of like we saw today. But if the manager's tendency is going to be to take a backward step, then I think at some point they will be caught out. But we saw the best of them today. And, yeah, it gives you reason to believe, doesn't it?
Well, they're good to watch because they've got some excellent players. We saw the pace of them. But they're also good to watch because I don't think they're going to be that great defensively.
We did see Denzel Dumfries with 2 assists in this game. Obviously, there's been a lot of talk about him coming into this tournament because of Real Madrid. What are Real Madrid getting in a player like that?
They're getting a player that is exceptional when he's going forward. I've always seen him play for Inter as a wing-back because Inter usually play with wing-backs. In the first couple of games, he's been a right-back, but today he had the chance to get forward because the way Sweden was set up, any switch of play out to the right-hand side to Marlon, who was just tucking in field, it meant Dumfries could make his forward run and Sweden never got back into, or the wide players, there wasn't a wide player for them, so he couldn't get back and cover. And then he delivered the right ball. He didn't mess around, he didn't take too many touches, he just whipped it into that space, and they were both very good crosses. You
mentioned Marlon. There was a switch for him today in this game. He's delivering. He's been delivering in the Serie A, and now he could be delivering for his national team too.
Well, he delivered up until half-time because he got taken off at half-time, and Somerville came on in the second half and then scored a goal. So that was the change they made. Marlon played up front in the first game. Brobby obviously came in this one. Marlon then went out to the right-hand side and sort of tucking in. I thought he played fairly well. He was making the right sort of runs. He was linking up well with Dumfries. But for some reason, I hope he hasn't got an injury, he was taken off at half-time and Somerville came on and then scored the 5th goal. So he might get the nod in the next one.
OK, let's talk about Sweden now. That could have hurt them, that result today.
Yes, I think it could have. And it's a strange one because they didn't feel like they played that badly today, but the goals were just flying in. I think as you look at the stats, like the nature of the chances that the Netherlands were having were quite big chances, but possessions basically 50-50. I think there were times as well where I thought Isak and Gyökeres, they linked up pretty well. I think Ayari as well, I could see the makings of a good side. But then as soon as some of the dynamism kicked in from the perspective of the Netherlands, then I think they just found themselves really, really wanting. And they are a funny team because, you know, to win the first game 5-1, that feels like, you know, this is a really, really good side. But then some of those frailties were definitely on display today.
And I understand it because the game was going away from them, but Graham Potter changed the system 3 or 4 times during the game because he got it wrong to start with because the switches of play were causing them problems because they were fairly too narrow. Then he had to bring Isak out from the centre-forward position to play him a little bit wider to stop Dumfries getting forward, but Isak didn't really want to go back with him because he was playing sort of through the inside left position rather than a left winger. He changed the system, then went to a back 3 and then went back to a back 4 again. So he's got some work to do, Graham Potter.
Yeah, we get to see a lot of this from these hydration breaks, the little changes that they're making
Hydration breaks,
now.
is that what they're called?
Yeah, you see.
Or match
some of
break.
the-
It
match breaks.
depends who's sponsoring it.
It does depend who's sponsoring
But they were
it,
timeouts, so they're not.
Timeouts as well, yes.
Okay, the breaks in play that
That's the
we're
one.
seeing
That's the one
throughout
you're
the
looking
World
for.
Cup, that's what we'll stick with, shall we? So that's how things finish between Netherlands and Sweden. Make sure to be with the team tomorrow, 9 a.m. Eastern on ESPN2 for our daily morning show. A lot of fun, a lot of energy there. Always looking back on the day before and everything that's coming up.
You worry about the holidays. It's not about the clubs or anything like that, about where you like to go. Where else would you like to go?
Last year. Yeah. I'll take Malaga, thanks. Malaga returning to La Liga for the first time since 2017-18. They play at La Rosaleda. The best European finish they've had was in the 2012-2013 Champions League. And famous people from Malaga, Pablo Picasso and Antonio Banderas.
Not too bad.
Yeah.
Not too bad at all. It's not Manchester, but it's not too bad.
It is not too bad. All right, let's get to Liverpool are doing the countdown, their official countdown of their greatest ever players. And in at number 41, Steve Nicol has made an appearance. So Liverpool deeming 40 players ahead of him in history.
Surprising because Stevie Nicol was a great player. There's no question about it. He was Player of the Year, the Football Writers' Player of the Year for one season in the whole of not the Premier League at that point, it was the First Division, but that's some achievement. And he was a brilliant player and can play in several different positions. So there must be some very good players in that top 40.
Yes, they must. And Stevie Nicol will be on a lot of digital coverage tomorrow across ESPN FC. So make sure to be subscribed to our YouTube channel if you'd like a little bit more of the 41st best player in Liverpool's history. Now, passing time between games, especially when there's 2 hours between games, is a little bit difficult sometimes, but it seems that Xhaka has found the formula.
Never mind them other two. Let's just do it right now. Roll on the jib.
God almighty Xhaka, Xhaka sleeps tonight. Hey,
Could play some basketball, Mike. Should have been a basketball, you know.
You should have been.
Yeah, look at this. Whoa, baby. Oh, baby. Look at this. Little finger roll. Mike just tries to make me look bad. That's my mark right here. Hello, everybody.
In the Xhaka, the mighty.
Ah, boy.
Oh, that's the delirium of being here all day long, watching game after game after game, I think.
The doctor's coming for him fairly soon. It spotted a little bit when Mark Ogden came into the background. He hadn't been dancing, had he?
No, definitely not. That knocked it down a peg or two. Xhaka, we love to see it. Keeping our energy up between all of these games here in World Cup action. Stick around. These boys are staying up here a little bit later still because extra time is on the way next. We'll see you over there. Welcome in.